This episode of Gamerheads is brought to you by Magic Mind, the healthy energy drink that will help you take your creativity to a new level.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Mega Cat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bonte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hey, this is Brimstone, and you're listening to Roger Reichart on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me, I have a very special guest, someone that I met at PAX East, and I got to play the game that that him and his team have been working on called Be My Horde. My guest this week is Łukasz from Polish Games. Łukasz, thank you so much for joining me this week.
I'm super thrilled to be here and talk to you once again after PAX East.
Yeah. PAX East was really fun, and meeting you at PAX East was actually one of the highlights I had of the show as well, because you are just such an outgoing person. I mean, that is your role, I understand, but still, you are a very outgoing person, and it was really fun hanging out with you and seeing you and getting to play the game. So I'm glad that you're able to come on the show.
That's my job to be the talker in Polish games, because I'm a head of PR and marketing. So I'm not doing the game. The true heroes are behind the curtain, and here to speak on behalf of them.
Well, I would say your job is very, very important as well. So
thank you so much.
Well, tell us about yourself before we get into the game Be My Horde. Why don't you tell us about yourself? I mean, obviously you're in Poland, but talk a little bit about yourself, the games what got you into gaming, and what attracted you to getting into the marketing realm of gaming as well.
Since I remember, I'm that kind of guy who starts from since I remember. Since I remember, I was interested in video games, primarily in pop culture as a whole. To be honest, on the very beginning of my career, I really wanted to be a movie director. So I was more into cinema than games. But at some point, I just turned into this medium. I don't remember exactly why. I just knew that games are awesome. To be honest, I played Doom from 1993 when I was like 4 years old. So I started very, very early, and I really wanted to make games. But at some point, it turned out that I'm a very, very bad programmer and even worse artist. So I guess I had to find something for myself. I was thinking about the game design, but I worked on sale on that time, I remember, and I was like, well, maybe marketing, maybe something like that. And there are not too many marketing guys in video game industry. It's like some studios, I think, smaller studios, of course, mostly indie, think they don't need people like that. So there's always place for us, to try. And that I just joined in. I don't know. I'm in this industry for like 7 years. I don't remember exactly right now. I worked in high school games, Better Gaming Agency, No Gravity Games, Feudemic, and now I'm the head of PR and marketing at Polish Games. And I love all those jobs because I learned a lot. I gained a lot of experience, but Polish Games is the best because to make a full circle, I just want to say that now I'm very, very close to the game that I need to promote. It's like I don't make this game, unfortunately, but I'm very, very close to the development process. So it feels that I'm in the middle of creating something great.
That's awesome. And you've been with Polish Games for a year now, is that right?
Not whole year. I joined October last year.
Okay.
So I will tell you more about it later because it's quite a great story. But it's connected to how Be My Horde was born. So maybe I will tell you more about it later.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about the game Be My Horde, tell us what this game is about.
Well, when you look at the Be My Horde, the first thing you think is, wow, this is another Vampire Survivors clone. And yes, of course, it has some similarities, but we have a twist in our game. And like I told you on PAX East not so long ago, our twist is that you do not attack enemies directly because your minions do it for you. And this is the thing. You play as Moriana. She's a sexy necromancer who is, well, she is evil. You're kind of evil in this scenario. You just want to bring chaos to the world and fight against forces of good. And because you are a necromancer, you can resurrect each fallen enemy, gradually expanding your horde of undead warriors. It's like you do not fight your minions autonomically. This is how you say it. So sorry, your viewer, the listeners. I'm not English native speaker, so probably I will make plethora of stupid mistakes while talking. So sorry about that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just wanted to say that here, you do not fight your minions are autonomously. This is the right expression. Autonomously,
yes,
they're defining for you. And when you kill somebody, whatever it is, a warrior, knight, peasant. The living creature you will kill, you can resurrect them and add them to your horde. That's that's the thing with Be My Horde.
Yeah, I love that. I love that mechanic because it is different than Vampire Survivors in the sense that yes, you are walking around, but there is and again, there is in Vampire Survivors, don't get me wrong, but there is some strategy around who you include into your horde and who do you engage with. Are you powerful enough to engage in those enemies, or should you hold off and try to build your horde up before you take on that next level of enemies? That's one thing that I really appreciated about the game, because that is different than Vampire Survivors. Not saying that Vampire Survivors doesn't have strategy, because it does. Yes. Saying that the strategy here is a little bit different.
Yes, exactly. It's like in Vampire Survivors, the character is the main focus. You expand, you develop your character, getting more abilities and getting stronger. Here, like you said, it's more about finding stronger and more powerful units you can kill and add to your horde, and that's the main thing. That the minions are in the spotlight, not exactly the main character.
Yeah, I love that. But what inspired that mechanic then? Because like that is different. What inspired that mechanic to have the minions attack versus having the player doing some attacks?
This is quite funny story to be honest, because it all started from our game director Krzysztof Dadeło. I know, very difficult name to pronounce. Christopher, it would be in English. So Christopher, he played some time ago a game called, maybe you know it, Diablo 4, and he played as a necromancer, and he wasn't pleased with the necromancer in Diablo 4. I mean, he liked the game, but generally it didn't fulfill this fantasy of being a necromancer, of creating these huge armies of undead warriors. And he was like, okay, I can do better. Maybe I will find some similar games too. And he was doing the research, and he found out that there are not too many games where you're a necromancer creating the huge armies, huge hordes. And there was only one game that was close to what he was looking for. And this game is very small indie title made for the Game Jam in 2015, I guess, if I remember correctly. And it was called Right Click to Necromance. And
interesting.
If you would, dear listeners, find this game, is amazing, and you can see that yes, it is. I like Be My Horde is quite similar to Right Click to Necromance, but this game is very, very small, very, very small for the short session. Just to, like I said, it's a Game Jam title, and Krzysztof was thinking about how to make a full-fledged game out of it, and then he turned to Vampire Survivors. He kind of took Right Click to Necromance and Vampire Survivors and combined it together. And what you ask why the main protagonist isn't fighting, because in Right Click to Necromance there is no protagonist, there is only horde. We took of course the character in a style of Vampire Survivors. You have the character in the middle of the screen, but we kind of combine it together. Like, yes, you are the character, you are that Moriana you see on the screen, but minions, like I said before, minions are more important, like it was in the Right Click to Necromance. You're a necromancer, you do not fight. You are above fighting. To be honest, you have people to do the dirty job.
That's right.
And that's why we came up with the character of Moriana. It was also Krzysztof's idea to create this proud, cocky, haughty character. She's, like I said, she's above fighting. She's more aristocratic. She don't want to make her hands dirty. She's a leader, not a warrior, and it just fitted our concept perfectly. Perhaps at the very beginning of the project, we had some ideas about adding some spells, I don't know, fireball, whatever, but it just didn't fit. It's very cool that you are, on one hand, you're still the main protagonist of this game. You are the Moriana, but in terms of fighting, in terms of strategy, no, minions are more important.
Nice. I love that. The other thing that I think that stands this game, well, there's two things, and I'll mention the first one, and I'm going to throw a curveball to you because I have a second question that's going to follow up to this. Mm-hmm. But the first question I have is that the fact, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. I love the art in this game. Like, this is so different. It's not that pixelated, and I love pixelated art. Don't get me wrong, but it looks more hand drawn art style, and the characters look fantastic. Can you tell us more about that art creation and that process and how it evolved over time?
Mm-hmm. I mean, our first game, previous game, we launched called Realms of Magic, which is a role-playing game. It also was 2D, and we just kind of feel comfortable with the 2D graphic. Plus, we really wanted to make this game very simple. It worked. It born as a simple, not very complex project. To be honest, now before I will tell you anything more about art, I just want to add one more thing. Is that when I joined the Polish Games, it was like 3 people working at this company. Right now there are 10 of us, and even more if we add outsource to it. And the people running the company, they knew that, hey, we hired a lot of new people. Let's not make another huge RPG game because yes, Realms of Magic is quite a big game. It was, I think, the development of Realms of Magic, it was like 7-8 years. Working on this game. The group of nerds just trying to make a great fantasy adventure, and they did because the Realms of Magic is an amazing game, and they understood now that, okay, we have more people, we need to work on something smaller. Just kind of learn how to work when in the bigger group, learn how to cooperate with each other, and that's why I'm making Be My Horde. And yes, why it looks like that, why it looks like is because we wanted to make it simple. And yeah, the 2D graphic is less complex, but it's still beautiful. We have amazing artists on board, Alicja Frelich and Kordian Skowron, and they are both amazing. Alicja, she's responsible for Moriana's look, because we were thinking about how this sexy necromancer would look like, but she really wanted to avoid the generic necromancer look, like, the side, hoodie, things like that. And she was thinking about what to do, and she came up with Morticia Addams style. Morticia Addams was the main primary inspiration to make Moriana. She's proud, but she is seductive, but not in a vulgar way. And this is why it works. And this is also the thing why we are doing it in 2D. Sorry, I forgot about to mention it. The game is very violent, and but we don't want to do it adult only game. That's not the thing. The game has a lot of humor in it, and it's not very serious. So there is a lot of blood, but it's all of that in a very cartoonish way. Very cartoonish style, and that makes this game, I think, appealing to a lot of people, to us too, that it's not so serious, and 2D graphic helps us a lot to find it. The funny thing is that I remember because Alicja joined the team together with me, and she thought that she's going to work on another pixel art game like Realms of Magic, and to this day she didn't make any pixel art style anything from the game. It's like they straight ahead went to the handwritten drawing style, and it's a running joke here in the company that, hey, Alicia, you were supposed to be a pixel art artist, you never did any pixel art for Polish games. But maybe in the future, we're planning to, maybe come back to Realms of Magic after Be My Horde. And like I said, there is a second graphic designer, Kordian. He's also amazing. He joined a little bit later, and he's helping Alicja a lot creating this amazing world. Because, guys, what you can see in a demo of Be My Horde it's just a glimpse of what's going on in the full game. Like, I know it, I saw it, what we were working on. I don't want to tell you too much, but there will be more and more cool graphics to it and even animations, because right now the characters are more like, moving like the paper dolls or something.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the art, and the other thing I love about the art too is that when the characters when the main character starts losing her horde and starts taking damage herself, she starts to decay and get brought. You know what I mean? Like, she starts to see the damage and like almost becomes undead herself, and it looks really cool. It looks really cool.
Because remember that Moriana, she's a very beautiful, attractive woman on outside, because she's an immortal lich. She's a bad guy. So when she gets damaged, you can see who she really is. And it was also a very cool but very difficult thing to do in the game, because we didn't want to have the health bar to show how much health points you have. And it was pain in the ass to prepare it perfectly. Alicia prepared a lot of iterations of how Moriana could look like when she gets damaged. And to be honest, we're still working on it to make it better. We are called polished games. So everything we do in head has to be polished. We did it ourselves. So we are that kind of people that are very working on every detail in the game. Maybe sometimes spending too much time on it, but thanks to it, our games are polished. And I also love this idea of Moriana become more skeleton at the very end of her life.
Yeah, it looks really good. The other thing that I wanted to point out too, that's different than Vampire Survivors, is that there's voice acting in this game. So I didn't actually have this on my list of questions for you, but I'm gonna throw you a curveball. Talk more about the voice acting in that process around getting a voice actor and incorporating that into the game. What was that like, and what was the tone you were looking for in that whole process?
I'm very happy you asked about it, because this is the only one thing that I added to the game. I'm going to
tell you, I know this because you mentioned this at
I mentioned it also.
You did. So I wanted to make sure I included this into this conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, the idea to add the voice acting to the game was kind of common idea. Like, we together came up with it, but I was responsible for finding actress to play Moriana, and it was a great adventure. I did a whole casting, because Be My Horde is not full-fledged RPG game or something like that. I shouldn't say RPG game. The game is in the name. So only RPG. So it's not a big game with tons of dialogues and lines, etc. But we still wanted to make it seriously, like make all the casting. I got a lot of audition records from amazing actresses. I really would love to share those names here, but I cannot. I shouldn't do it because you know how it is. But it was very great actresses. It was a great pleasure for me to meet them. But Amberly Connors, who plays Moriana, she was perfect. To be honest, she was the first one who sent us the audition records. Really? And we were like, yeah, this is very cool. This is great. But let's hear the others. And I remember that the casting, all those audition records I was receiving, it was like for 1 or 2, even 3 weeks, and no one was better than Amber. It was like, no, I think it's destiny. We need to get back to her. And because she was first, and of course I wrote to her back that thank you so much for audition records. Please wait for the end of casting. Because she was first, she I think she thought she didn't get the role because I didn't contact her very quickly. But when I came back to her, she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, she was so happy. And I remember we were very nervous when we started to work with her, because it's like no one in polished games has a great experience with voiceover directing. It's like we don't have experience in it, and we make a call with Amber so she could start recording lines we needed for the trailer and for the demo, so we can hear her, be there on Zoom and give her some notes. After 5 minutes, something like that, we knew that we are not needed there. She was doing no notes. I remember that in the first 5-10 minutes, I only had maybe one note, and it wasn't that she did something bad. It was like, hey, maybe do it this way, and it was okay, thank you. That was the only one, because besides of that, she was perfect, and we were like, you know what, Amber, we won't distract you. We want to feel comfortable. We'll go to our things, and you do the job. And next day, she sent us she recorded all the lines in a matter of hour, something like that. And it was perfect. So she loves the character, and you can hear that. I know that they are just one-liners that she's throwing during the gameplay, but I think that it adds a lot of depth to the game. Like I said, there is no voice acting in games like Vampire Survivors, and I know that we all stand out thanks to it. And yes, we are going to add more lines, and we already want to make more sessions with Umbrella Connors, and we even have some ideas for another characters in the future to add, and also add them hire actors for them. But I can tell you more about it. That's a very, very, very top secret. But yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job. I mean, really, she just like her character. I mean, the voice just fits with the character so well. So I wanted to call that out too, because it's such a great job. What were some of the challenges that you ran into when you're developing the game?
I think mostly balancing, because besides of some things with art that like I told you that with this, like, Moriana is getting damaged and she looks more and more wounded, and that was the challenge. But in terms of other things than art, I think that balancing the game, because you play game needs to be challenging. We didn't want to make a casual game. We really wanted to make a game with that kind of easy to learn but hard to master, because it's very, 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 very simple. It's not very complex. You can learn what to do in 10 seconds, and you know what to do in Be My Horde. But at the same time, we wanted to make it hard to get a good result in this game. So you need to learn, you need to try, and you play as a freaking necromancer. It's impossible to lose. Imagine the situation that you play as Moriana with 100 minions fighting with 100 foes. You will win. That's why this whole Night King character from Game of Thrones was terrifying. That hey, I'm fighting with them. Of course, I have some losses on my side, some bodies count, and he just resurrect them and recreate his horde. It's terrifying. So we didn't want to make Moriana unstoppable. And the thing is that I remember how Jakub Apostolski, one of our game designers, I asked him one day how he approached the balancing of the game. He told me, how was it? He told me he approached it. I approached it with blood and sweat or something like that. I love this quote. It's great. And that's the thing. When they spend a lot of time working on how to do it, the answer is in the time and numbers. Because when you play the Be My Horde demo, you see that the longer you're on the level, the more waves of enemies are coming, and we turned this game into racing with time. Because you need to be constantly moving, gathering your horde, and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Because you know that in 1 minute, in 2 minutes, something will happen, and you can lose your army. And thanks to it, you do not stand in one place waiting that your horde will build by itself. No, you need to move. You need to act. And I think it works very well in the demo. And I'm very proud of the game designers what they did here. I remember they were talking about the effect that is called snowball effect. This is the term from game design, that when you're getting too powerful at the beginning of the game, like a snowball going from the mountain. And I remember this is the thing they were working very, very long to get rid of this snowball effect. And I think now what the demo represents, it shows it perfectly. Like we did those moments. We know that most players will die in this minute. We put the demo, and it was true. It was most of the players died in the moment we wanted them. So it showed that we really nailed the balance, and now we can use this knowledge, this experience we gain for the full game to make it enjoyable. But not too easy, more challenging than easy.
Yeah. I will say, I thought I did pretty well. I think you said like the
what was your time? Remind me.
13 something.
13 minutes. That's a very good result. Because most of the players die in like 5 minutes, 6 minutes,
minutes.
right
so
now.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that I had advantage of. I was watching the person in front of me, and they lasted like almost broke your record. I think you said that there was a record of like 14 minutes, and they almost broke that. And I was watching their strategy, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take that strategy, and I'm gonna adapt it a little bit differently. That's yes.
Plus, I'm so sorry, Roger. I forgot that on the packs you had already all abilities bought. when you play the demo on Steam, you still need to buy all those free abilities, but it's still very good result for the first time. Really sorry. Just reminded that when you play the demo right now, there are free abilities available in the game that you need to buy. When you kill the opponents, you gain those souls, and you can purchase. Spend them to purchase some abilities. Right now, they're only free available. In the full game, of course, we will have more of them. But to make the demo on PAX East quicker, so more people could play it, we just add those free abilities already available in the demo.
You didn't have to tell me that. I was actually feeling really good about myself until you told me that. Now I feel like I don't feel as good about myself.
It's still a very good result. Trust me. I think I had worse result when I first played with all those free abilities. I don't know why it happened. I know why it happened, because I'm the PR marketing guy, but I don't know how it happened that I'm in the front and speaking on behalf of everybody, because I'm the worst of all people who play games at Be My Horde. Like when we do our internal tests, because from time to time we meet in one, from time to time when we have new build, we're playing it together, telling, hey, this is cool, this is not cool, maybe let's change that, this is great, and always the first one to die. Those tests, it's like, oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
Do they not use you as the the balancing? Don't worry, if he dies too early, it's not been a balancing issue. It's just that he dies too early.
I mean, this is the argument that Krzysztof used once, because I was like, I'm so bad at this game. I'm so sorry, guys. And he was like, no, you're perfect. You're perfect to do tests on you because you're a casual gamer. I was okay. I'm useful for the team. Okay.
That's awesome. I love that so much. Well, you kind of alluded to this. I'm going to ask a question, and I don't know if you can answer it or not, but what is next in store for Be My Horde? Like, what can we expect in the future?
Right now, we are hardly working on feedback we got from PAX East and previously from Steam Next Fest, because I know that every developer says that, but we are very serious about feedback from players, and we really analyzed it, and we want to make the game that on one hand we want to play it, but of course we are doing it for somebody, so we hear people what they're saying, and we're trying to work with that. Right now we're quite silent because we are busy. We are kind of busy, but soon we should reveal more what will happen. I can tell you that what first will happen is the early access launch that we are planning for this year, mid this year. So I'm talking about June, July. We are very close, to be honest, to this release, but we are not going to make it the permanent early access, like 7 years in the early access. No, we don't want to do it. It's not that kind of game. It's not very big, so there is no point to working on it too long. We are thinking about the early access period to be like 6 months or something like that, just to when you will buy the early access version of Be My Horde, you will have all the features already in it. Like you will know what this game is, we know what the core is, you know how it works. The early access will help us on one hand to polish it, and the second hand just to add more content to it, more levels, more units, more bosses. Because there will be some cool stuff we are preparing right now. So this is the thing: early access first, then after 6 months, full launch. We are planning to release. We're planning to release Be My Horde also on consoles. I'm talking about PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. So the whole package, and nice. And we are aiming to do it together with full release. But with early access, it always depends on how it will look like, because who knows? Maybe it won't be 6 months. Maybe it will be 12 months. It really depends on on feedback of players to it. And who knows? After that, I will think to going back to Realms of Magic. Because we after Be My Horde, we want to make. Just to calm the fans of Realms of Magic, because they all waiting for what's going on next with this franchise. Yes, we are going to work on it, but really want to first finish Be My Horde, not to work on 2-3 projects at once. That's not us. There's only 10 of us in Polish games, so hey, come on. So first Be My Horde, but after that we are going to make the remake of the first Realms of Magic, because we learned a lot and we know we can do it better. And after remake, we are going to make a sequel to Realms of Magic. Nice. So that's the plan for the next 2-3 years, something like that. We are looking very ahead of us.
Nice. Is there any chance of a crossover between Realms of Magic and Be My Horde, the characters at least? I mean, same universe, perhaps, maybe? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know what? This is a very good idea. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will get back tomorrow because it's already. I'm from Poland. When we are talking right now, it's already like 7:30 p.m. on my side. So I will go back to sleep, and next day I will wake up and tell the team, "Hey, guys, I have a great idea." And it's very my own idea. But no. To be honest, yes, this sounds cool, because we already have. One connection between Realms of Magic and Be My Horde. It's like, you remember Exploding Ship in Be My Horde? We have similar units in Realms of Magic. You can meet Exploding Ship when you're exploring the world. So first connection is made. Maybe we'll do more of them. It's still fantasy world. To be honest, I need to ask the rest of the team if this is the same word. To be honest, I don't know. I never asked them about it.
It is. Why would you even ask that question?
Yes,
of course it is.
Yes, exactly.
Did you think it was different worlds? And you're like, no, I didn't think so.
I need to tell them to not listen to this podcast, because they will hear what nonsense I speak.
Oh, I can't wait for the game to come into early access, because I had a lot of fun with it at PAX, and I had a lot of fun with you on the show. Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining me. It was really I hope you had fun, because I had a lot of fun with this episode. So
I did have a lot of fun. It's great to speaking to you, and I'm happy that my English is not so terrible as I thought it may be when speaking, because it's different when you're talking about a 5 minutes conversation and 30 minutes conversation. That's a completely different thing. But I stopped to being nervous after first minute, because you're a very great host of it. And I just felt very comfortable here speaking about Be My Horde. And yes, please, dear listeners, wishlist the game on Steam. That's the thing I need to say as a marketing guy. Sorry. That's my job.
For sure.
They're paying me for that. And remember that the demo we are speaking about here is already available on Steam. And we have right now first half of April. I don't know when you're going to post this podcast, but I think very, very soon you should hear some cool news about Be My Horde.
Nice. I'll put the link in the show notes so that you can wish list this. The other thing I want to ask is, what is your social media? How can people follow you on social media? Follow the progress of Be My Horde and see any updates that you have as well.
I think the free sources are the best here. First is, of course, Steam, because we're trying to not only keep it as a empty page. We are going to share some announcements there, some devlogs about what we are working on, so you can check it out on Steam. Also, we are quite active on our Twitter, or you should say X. I guess X/Twitter, whatever. Sorry, I'm so into Twitter name that I cannot switch to X. I'm so sorry.
I'm always gonna call it
so
Twitter,
sorry, Elon. You can follow us on Twitter, because all the posts you can find on Twitter are written by me. I'm responsible for them. So go on. And the last one, maybe even the most important thing, is our Discord server. We have the official Be My Horde Discord server. The link is on the Steam page. There is a very cool GIF that I made. You can click it and you will go to our Discord server, and we are there. Like you can go there and be directly in contact with us developers, ask us questions, and tell us. I don't know if you love our games or you don't love our game. Whatever, just tell us, because we really want to hear what you think about it. And praise be Moriana.
I love how that is your tag now. That is the best.
Yes, it was also my idea. Sorry, I'm not too modest, to be honest. I'm not that kind of guy.
Lucas, it was so much fun having you on the show. I really appreciate it. I'd love to have you back on the show when it does go into early access and talk more about that.
Sure thing.
That would be so much fun. Listeners, give the game a wish list. The game, check out the demo. It is really fun. I had so much fun with it at PAX. If you like Vampire Survivors, you're gonna love this game because this game is like right up that alley. So, with that, everybody, stay safe and game on, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.